Next talk will be given by Jeb Thomas. Jeb is a senior in the Carroll School of Management studying finance and information systems. While at BC, Jeb co-founded a web-based startup designed to increase consumer engagement with online advertisements. He was the youngest to have won the Boston College Venture Competition as a sophomore and was admitted to participate in Summer at Highland, a prestigious venture capital accelerator program. Jeb has also served as a student fellow for .406 Ventures, a leading early-stage tech venture fund where he was responsible for identifying disruptive technologies, teams, and opportunities of high-growth companies targeting large markets. Starting in June, Jeb will be joining TM Capital, a partner-owned middle-market investment bank based in New York, Boston, and Atlanta. His talk tonight will focus around how to tap into your personal network to accomplish both your personal and professional goals. Please help me in welcoming Jeb.
Thank you. As Tim mentioned, my name is Jeb Thomas, and today I'm going to talk about how you can use your network to achieve your personal and professional dreams. So before I get started, I just want to share a little bit about myself. Originally from South Florida, I love to run. Like most of you, I'm a diehard super fan. Go Eagles. And I love technology. Over the last 4 years, I've been so privileged here at BC to meet some really accomplished and talented individuals. And I've been able to work with some really cool companies as well. So today I'm going to talk about how you can use your network in 3 circumstances. So like starting a company, getting a job, and then also fundraising for charity. So these are all three things that I've recently encountered, and using my network has been extremely beneficial, and it's been a tremendous asset too. So I'm going to kick things off by how to start a company using your network. So my personal experience, in 2011, I won the Boston College Venture Competition. Some friends and I came up with this really cool idea for college students to go to this website, answer questions about businesses, and receive cash for every question they answered correctly. And so we came up with this business plan. It's 15 pages long, but starting a business actually takes so much more work. Acquiring clients was really difficult for us. I spent an entire summer going door to door to pizza shops, different fashion stores, jewelry shops, trying to get them to advertise on my website. And it was really, really tough. But in the next few months, by March of 2012, we were able to launch our website. We got a few clients on board, and we thought that we were all set, but then we faced another problem, and it was potentially even more difficult to overcome, and that was acquiring users. So getting college students like JP, to use our website was extremely difficult. But we use so many different things. So we would send out brochures. We would even go to different classrooms and write our URL on the chalkboard. So I don't know if you've seen jebit.com on chalkboards, but that's what we would spend most of our nights doing. It wasn't after some of these techniques sort of failed that we realized using our own personal networks would be much more beneficial and much more effective. So we did that, and we did it very effectively. Within 2 months, we had over 5,000 users on our site, which we were super pumped about. So the way that we did this and the way that we use Facebook and Twitter and our social networks, we actually followed these 4 rules that I'm going to show to you guys. And basically, the first thing that we made sure to do whenever we posted something on Facebook or Twitter, we wanted to make sure that it was extremely personal and relevant to whoever we were trying to target. So if I was trying to talk to a guy like Paul, I'd make sure to include posts that had maybe references to sports or cars or something like that guys would be interested in reading. So we made sure that all our posts were relevant. Second, we wanted to time our posts so that our friends would actually be online when we posted these things on Twitter and Facebook. So we made sure to post. I think during finals week, we even posted up until the wee hours in the morning because we knew that college students would be checking Facebook as they were studying. So yeah, we would make sure to post. We would make sure to time all of our posts and make sure that it was appropriate. Third, we varied the content of our posts. Rather than just constantly posting visit our website, visit our website, visit our website, we made sure that all of our posts had new content and it was very fresh and it was always keeping users engaged. That was extremely beneficial. And finally, we made sure to adjust the success or failure of our posts. So if we saw something that wasn't working, if people weren't commenting on our Facebook posts or they weren't retweeting us, we made sure to go back and look at what could be some probable causes for our failure. And usually it applied to one of the first 3 rules, so we just reapproached that process. So using your social network to start a company is extremely beneficial. Next, I want to talk about getting a job. This is something that, as seniors, I'm sure most of us have recently encountered. For me personally, my job hunt, I really wanted to get an internship my junior year, but I found it really difficult. I was going to get an internship in investment banking, but I had like 4 things really working against me. So I was really late to the application process. I decided that I wanted to get this internship in May, and most other kids were applying in like, I don't know, January or even like September. So I was very late to this whole process. Second, I had no previous like work experience in finance. I had founded my own company, but I hadn't really worked with finance and stuff. So that was also detrimental. Third, I wanted to work in Florida. It's where I'm from. It was where I would be comfortable for the summer. So that sort of limited the scope of companies that I would be trying to apply to. And finally, investment banking. If you guys are in CSOM, you know it's definitely something that like the top 1% of the kids in your class try to go for, because like it is like a very challenging environment. But my GPA certainly wasn't up to par with my competition. So I had all these things working against me. But going back to networking, I was able to get an internship in investment banking for the summer. But ironically, it wasn't because I knew somebody that knew somebody. Not every time that you try to accomplish something, you're going to have somebody in your network that can help you get there. Oftentimes, you have to build your network. And the way that I did this was through cold calling. So similar to like starting a company, there were sort of a couple of different rules that I followed when trying to get this internship and this job. I researched like all the parties I would be contacting. So I came up with this list of companies that like I wanted to work for in Florida, and then I would research the people working at those companies. I would look for common traits and attributes that like if I were to email them, maybe something, maybe like if I saw somebody that had gone to school in Boston, I'd be like, oh, hey, I go to Boston College, maybe we should work together. I would try to look for some interest or attribute that would really like tie into them and be like, wow, this kid's kind of cool. Third, I would personalize the emails, and I'd double check for errors, because oftentimes the first impression is what's most important. Especially for what I was going, but for anything in general. If you're going to cold call someone, if you're going to introduce yourself to somebody for the first time, you want to be on your A game. You want to be on top of things and make sure that there are no errors. And finally, similar to the Facebook post and the Twitter thing, you want to send things at an appropriate time. So I actually did some research on this, and it turns out that the best time, the time that you're most likely to get a response from somebody, is to email them in the early morning or afternoon. It's weird. Like I would have thought it would have been like maybe towards the evening or something like that, but it's actually in the early hours. I think the study said that like at 5 o'clock people are driving home, at 6 o'clock people are like taking showers, at 7 o'clock people are ordering for pizza, and at 8 o'clock is finally when they check their emails again. So so keep that in mind if you're looking to contact somebody for the first time. If you're looking to email, you want to do it in the early morning, and you want to try to follow these 4 rules. So I got this internship for the summer down in Florida, but I was coming back to BC in the fall, and I knew that I wanted to continue this sort of like learning curve that I was on with banking. So I wanted to try to get an internship for the fall semester, which is almost unheard of. We're college students, we're in classes almost every day of the week. So I followed this process of basically, I made sure that my schedule, I only had classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so I'd be open for Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but I really wanted to get this internship because I felt that it would have led to a full-time offer. So again, I had to go through this whole process again of like job hunting. And with this, I followed, similar to the other instances, I followed like a set of rules. So I decided what I wanted to do. I wanted to continue investment banking. And then I created a list of companies in Boston that I wanted to work at, that I would be excited to work for. I did research into the companies, but then I also researched the people working at the companies. On their websites, they all had like bios and stuff like that. And so that's where I really learned about the people. One person was actually an analyst at a company that I was looking to work at, and he went to Boston College. I was like, wow, this kid's, all right, this is it, this is my in. So I emailed the guy and I was like, look, I go to Boston College, you went to Boston College, go Eagles. And he was willing to meet up with me, and we grabbed lunch. And at the lunch, he actually brought along like one of the boss, like the head honcho of the Boston office. And I was like, wow, this is awesome. Like, thank you for doing this. And I was able to meet him, and I got the internship. So that was another instance where like cold calling, but using like your own personal background and your network can really benefit you. So the fourth thing, arrange meetings, but also follow up. If somebody doesn't respond to your email or something like that, don't be afraid to pass them another note, maybe a week or two later saying, hey, remember me? I'm that kid from BC. So I sort of follow these 4 rules in job hunting. And so I mean, in terms of looking for a job, definitely use your network because that can be your greatest asset. So the third thing I wanted to talk about, and this one is probably most recent to me, is fundraising. So I recently had an experience with fundraising, and in January of this year, I actually decided that I'd be running the Boston Marathon for a charity that was very personal to me, and that charity was Katie's Courage. So Katie was actually my younger cousin who passed away of cancer 2 years ago. My family set up a charity in her memory, and I decided that I would be running the Boston Marathon for the charity. I'd be raising money, collecting donations from people and giving T-shirts away and all this crazy stuff. So I had a really good experience doing this. I feel like my network was ultimately what helped me raise over $1,300. I used all these different websites, all these different tools. So I made sure that people, my friends and stuff on Facebook and Twitter, I made sure that there was very little friction to help donate to my cause. So I used a website like WePay, which makes it extremely easy to collect money. I made shirts using OO shirts, which if you guys need to make shirts, they're good, low cost. But yeah, I mean, so I use these different avenues, and I put all these pieces together, and ultimately I was able to fundraise using my social network. I think if you're going to fundraise, it's definitely important to fundraise for something that you're extremely passionate about. So for me, that was my younger cousin's charity. And when I made posts on Facebook and when I reached out to friends, when I used my network to collect donations, I made sure to convey that passion for that charity. Whether that be through telling Katie's story or sharing pictures, what have you. But ultimately, I think if you're going to fundraise, using your network can definitely be your greatest asset, especially if you're really, really passionate about what you're doing. So that's something that I was really excited about. So thank you so much for coming out. I really appreciate it. And I'll be fielding questions. No, I'm just kidding. It's all good. Thank you.